Hello and welcome to Much Dip Podcast. My name's Dave. I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to host this here podcast, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Joining me in studio is Dylan Shivery.
Let's talk about this a little bit ago in the bullpen. Went home for lunch, and the 2019 LSU-Bama game was on TV in Tuscaloosa. So I tuned in for a little bit. The amount of talent on the field is absolutely unbelievable. Both starting quarterbacks, all 6 starting receivers, and 2 starting running backs, with the exception of Henry Ruggs. We know what happened there. All making a lot of money in the NFL right now. Pretty wild. Also, though, in Trayvon Diggs, Dave, our boy.
Pretty salty there.
Lots of talent, man. Anyway, it got me excited. If there's football on right now, I'm just going to watch it. That's what I do.
College football can't come soon enough.
It can't get here soon enough. That is so true.
Was that the year? That was definitely the year Texas played LSU really, really close.
Yeah. That's the Burrow year where he just went off. He went crazy.
Okay. Who was that?
The same year they
was that
played.
Sam back there for Texas? Who was? I'm
Yeah.
trying to think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember watching that game. I was in around Buffalo way, and I was watching it with an uncle of mine. And I was like, "Holy shit, Texas might
was
do
hanging
this."
tough.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do it. Anyway, that's all I got.
Jefferson.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
Jets.
I was an Uber driver that day, and that was the most traffic I've ever seen in Austin, Texas. The LSU, the game.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Damn. Let's go out this weekend. There's a crazy event happening. KJ.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you, Randy, Mr. Call Me Hot Not Pretty, for that perspective that we could find nowhere else
You're welcome.
but from his Uber driving days. I have to say, I hadn't thought about Henry Ruggs in a minute, so thank you for delivering that thought to me.
Just an unfortunate situation all around.
I've got breaking news on the pod, KJ.
Is it Henry Ruggs related?
It's not. It's
Oh.
Cameo related. Someone just requested me on Cameo.
Hell yeah.
You got your first cameo? What are you charging?
I don't even know. I didn't change it. It's whatever they set it at. So I got to look.
No glaze, but low key, you're kind of appropriate for Cameo. I think it plays.
What's that mean?
I think this is a good thing. You may be doing it as a bit, but
It's not really.
by all
bad.
means, you deserve any business that you could get on Cameo.
Well, that's very nice of
It's
you.
very nice.
Dylan's gonna do it, and he's gonna have the phone out. He's gonna have his feet up.
I'm going to overcharge, though.
You got good feet, man. You gotta
people
sell them
pay it and
things.
you'll feel bad. That's worse. That's way worse.
But
feet?
to charge a lot is worse?
No, I'm saying somebody's going to pay it, and then you're going to feel really bad.
like the Dave Ruff True Player for
Like,
Real
oh,
shirt.
Here's a discount, man. I'm sorry. I'm not worth 50 on Cameo. Here's 40 back.
More people than I remembered bought the True Player for Real shirt because there was a thread on the Reddit or somewhere, and they're like, "Yeah, I bought that shirt." And there was at least 3 or 4 people, and we sold it for $69.99, thinking no one's going to buy this, and people did. Not that we saw that money, and not that it really played out in our favor at the end of the day, but
You should have got a little cut. You
I
are
don't
you are the true player for real.
you know me, I was a company man.
That's true.
That's wild. I found it on Facebook Marketplace like 2 months later for like $12. I'd never worn.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some young ladies out there rocking the shirt. What, Randy?
I found you on Cameo and see how much you're charging right now.
How much am I
It says $25. $25 a pop for a Dave John.
Okay.
I'm gonna charge 26.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just gonna show
Shouldn't
that I'm worth more.
You should undercut me.
Yeah,
I should undercut you.
24.
We should just have an undercut battle. So it's just like, all right, well,
We're just giving them away.
this is stupid. Just DM me.
25 cents a cameo.
Oh man. Hey, did we get a new thermostat?
We did.
Fuck yeah. So we almost
Mo.
pull back the curtain, KJ. This pod almost didn't happen. Okay? AC was out.
For the third time in I think it was about 12 months, I guess.
A year. Yeah.
The RAC has gone out. They were quick with it today. Very thankful for that. They got here very quickly, and we got cold air again. So that's nice.
But, as someone who's been to the studio, it's not as if it's, surrounded by highly reflective metal and glass. Like, you couldn't have a hotter location for the temperature, for the thermostat to be off if you tried.
Yeah. South Lamar is so hot right now, man. It's hot. There's a lot of stuff popping off. All the young pros want to live here.
All the
You
young
enjoying
pros.
year 2 at CBRE?
Yeah, loving it, man. I'm at Aquila or whatever it is. What's that place?
Aquila.
Yeah, I just started.
Really?
At Aquila, yeah.
That's
all
sick, dude.
Yeah, that's all I got. They are a good. They're a friend of the company,
They are.
even though they owe us a round of golf and or a steak.
It's not going to happen.
Fuck, I'd take a burger at this point.
Yeah. I'll
Give
take
me the Pete Terry.
I'll take some nugs. Yeah. I don't
Seriously. Jeez, we got sales guide hard. That guy's supposed to be our friend too. Just kidding. Yeah, so we're good now, but we're here in the studio. Randy's already checked out. Randy's going to Japan, KJ. You probably didn't know because none of us knew.
Hi.
When is the departure? I've asked. Dylan's told me very graciously. I forgot. When are you leaving?
I technically leave for Japan Thursday morning, but I'm leaving.
Okay, what about metaphysically? When do you leave?
Wednesday at noon for Denver, and I'm staying a day in Denver.
Why'd you say tentacly?
I did not say technically.
You did say it weird.
You did. You said tentacly.
It did sound
sorry,
that.
Japan on the mind. Been prepping.
Oh my god. Well, I'm excited for you.
I am excited as well. I'll
When
make
do
sure
you return?
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Damn,
Okay.
dude. All right.
So when Randy's back, we'll be entering week 1 of college football season. Y'all will have traveled to the deep south, and I will return from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where I'll be this weekend. So it'll be a weird recording schedule for the show over the next couple of weeks. But no, we are just simply resting our minds and bodies right before we dig into football season.
Dude, it can't come soon enough.
It's like 10 days out. It's real weird.
I probably say something similar every offseason, but I don't think I've ever been this excited for college football. I think because of the playoff format, it's got me extra horned.
It's the SEC thing too.
The SEC thing, of course,
Yeah.
is a big part of it. And the chance that we'll see some extended arch playing time has me excited as well.
I'm very, very excited for Texas State. They've got a little bit of buzz. They've got a lot of buzz, actually, like Sunbelt buzz, which, okay. There's even major outlets being like, watch out for, they've got them on like the list of like sneak into the playoffs, which is like, let's slow down.
Dude, it's GJ season.
But look, you wanna tell me that they could finish in the top 25 or something? Like, yeah.
Not even just SEC, Big Ten too. You're going to get to see a lot of like new matchups there.
Yeah, can't wait.
I'm excited.
No, I'm just kidding. That's
I'm
fucked
excited
up.
for Pac-12 football this year.
Yeah, me too. ACC, really, for me.
It's really a coin flip to see who's going to win that conference.
Yeah,
there
I
are
guess
two
it is
teams.
kind of, first time in 40 years that a Division I football team from the state of Texas returns to a power conference. But hey, I guess we would make our attention there eventually.
Yeah, I don't really think about them too much.
Who are you talking about, UTEP?
Definitely talking about UTEP. Shouts to the Miners.
Why'd you go K-Dot on them?
You know what? I said that and didn't fully know where I was getting that reference from in my head. Like, it was just kind of lodged in there. Anyways, I agree with Dylan. I'm kind of whelmed. I'm properly whelmed
You're whelmed.
about the college. Yeah.
Wow.
About the college football.
Are you
playoff
also
expansion.
gruntled?
I could grunt. Yeah, for sure. I think great way to put it. I'm gruntled about the timing of the college football playoff expansion because it takes some of the attention off of everything we just talked about as far as like conference realignment. Like that expansion would have been all I cared about. Way back when SMU was American Athletic Conference team. They won the division or the conference last year. They would have been presumably in there with Liberty. So like that would have been fun. Now the odds of us being the second or third best team in the ACC, yeah, it's out there. but the second or third best team in the ACC is not getting ranked over like all the other at-large bids. So we'll see.
Randy, you look like you had something.
No.
Okay.
I was just getting some air. Yeah, I can't wait to not watch Purdue get destroyed by Oregon this year.
Man, you were just beating down Purdue fan. Just
Shouts to Graham Harrell, their offense coordinator, Texas Tech great.
Where did he play high school ball?
Ennis.
Oh, he's an Ennis guy. I was
Out
gonna
round,
guess,
Ennis way, I
Waxahachie,
believe.
but yeah, no, he just said that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Where's Ennis?
South of Dallas.
Okay.
Out around Waxahachie way, if you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah. So I guess I was right then.
For sure.
Yeah, all 45.
Man, what a football conversation. Since we're talking football, can we just do can we talk prime right now? May as well just work coaching.
Please.
Deion. So Colorado, I don't know if it's their first game or second game, but they start out with North Dakota State. North Dakota State is a good program, as we have learned. A very good program. Colorado, despite the early success last year, not a good program. Got a lot of names, got rid of some guys, a lot of guys actually. Seemed to have shored up the O-line. That was a big key for them. But I'm really interested in what's going to happen with Colorado because you had this piece on not Axios, KJ, the Athlon. And it was just kind of like, hey, this is what's going on in the Colorado locker room. And it's talks to some players who've gotten out of there talking about fights, gambling, guns.
Almost like force fights by the staff.
Very,
in
very
parts,
toxic
yeah.
picture it paints. Now, of course, the Colorado Deion specifically denies that.
Well, there was the soundbite of Prime last season, and he says something like, look, if there's a fight, if one of your teammates gets in a fight, we all get in a fight. Like, he is outright encouraged fighting.
It's
So
interesting.
This is like, it seems to be on par with the mindset that he has about that. So
It's not a good look for Colorado.
it's not a good look.
And now you've got him. He's kind of going full Trump in the press conferences. He's very, very combative, to the point to where he will not answer questions from CBS. He
Yeah.
basically, and I'm guessing that's because they put out an article power ranking the Big 12 coaches, and he was like next to last, and he didn't like that.
He won 4 games last season.
He didn't like it. So he basically told the guy, hey, look, I've got nothing against you, but I'm not answering questions from CBS. Okay.
All right. Colorado is a clown show. Like, I'm sorry, but
Okay.
everything that's going on, what?
It's just funny. I didn't think you were going to go that hard.
The way they put their Instagram handles on their practice uniforms.
Kind of tight.
Dude, if you commit to Colorado, you're not serious about football.
Oh, yes.
You're just not. You like the clown culture. Like you want to also Shador's not going to be there next season.
Correct.
Nope.
Shiloh's also not going to be there next season.
Nope.
You think Deion's going to stick around and rebuild the Colorado program? Absolutely not. He's not going to stick around.
You're right. He'll probably be taking over for Dabo at Clemson or one of those
He's
other.
not going to get a better job. He's going to go back into podcasting, whatever he was doing with Barstool. I don't know. But it's I can't stand what's going on there. It really irks me.
KJ, your thoughts?
Yeah, a few things to add. I think there's a couple quotes in the Athlon article that were worth mentioning. I think someone described it as, quote, a real life Grand Theft Auto video game. Deep reference by that former player. Don't know what he meant there. Like, are you killing hookers in the locker room? That's kind of our thing at SMU. So I don't know. Allegedly.
That's a
Sorry,
great
Craig
poll.
James.
Great poll.
But there was the beef between the player Cormani, names escape me, who ended up
McLean?
at Florida. It was a 5-star.
5-star.
Yes, McLean. Ended up back at Florida. And then another backup quarterback who talked a little bit of shit publicly. Cormani didn't, but Cormani was taking some heat in the locker room. Wasn't like, well. integrated in the locker room, according to the article. There are a couple that are indisputable. There was a player arrested for like being witnessed forcing. He was 18. She was like 16 or 17 year old girl into a car by her neck, like presumably somebody that he was dating, but like domestic violence situation. And then maybe my favorite, again, indisputable, a player that had committed to them while live on Instagram, brandishing a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one that I missed. And there's a couple other like anecdotes regarding like gambling in the locker room and things like that. To everything that's going on there, I was my shower thought this morning, genuinely. I was thinking about NIL and I was like, does this increased amount of money with hooks involved? Like, have we seen like a decrease in players just acting an ass? According to all evidence, it seems like no. Georgia, on the other hand, having some situations. Colorado here being an example. So, like, I don't know how much of this story is singular to them now that you've dumped $1 million into a room full of teenagers across the country. Like, is this sort of shit going on in a lot of places and it's just chaos and we don't know it? But because of all the attention Colorado's brought on itself, like we see it here, I don't know.
I forgot about the handgun deal.
Yeah.
Man, is that part of like the going back to school, like sending kids off to college, and it's like, "Do you got your piece, honey?" Like, hold on, Mom, I gotta get that thing on me.
It's also like his Twitter behavior is also just really inappropriate for a head football coach.
Yeah,
And his sons like will hop on and go at people too, and they just, like he just outright like will go at players publicly. It's such a bad look, man. He's not.
Is
long
it a
for
sign of the
Colorado
times
State.
or just an
Colorado.
individual thing? Because I think we'll talk later about somebody in the Olympics with a similar persona. They're not a head coach. It's not college, completely different stratosphere. But I do feel like both situations are like, hey, this is unique, but it probably is going to be less unique after this.
he's talking about ray gun.
Dude, she's nice with it though.
Yeah.
Last thought on Deion. Could I like make my foot and mouth statement to
Please.
Dylan's point about will he be there next year? I'm not quite ready. Actually, I will be ready by the end of this episode. I'm sorry. It is August 12th. I told the world I'd be ready with my Zeke prediction. Not quite ready to match my Deion prediction with the Zeke one, but let's keep in mind that if somehow, I don't think he will, if somehow he pulled off 9 wins this year, don't know how, let's say it happens. The track record is all up on the dude. And we joke about like him replacing Dabo. That's not going to happen, but like he would have no shortage of offers of places to go, even if he burned this place to the ground. So I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't think it'll be somewhere positive, but I don't think we can be very confident that it'll be back to like Barstool podcasting.
Okay, if he wins 9 games is such a big if.
I don't think it will. I agree. It
Right,
won't happen.
dude.
But
Just the
like,
way he's so like the way he ran, like he just not only did he run off a lot of players, but he's very open about like, yeah, I could hop in the portal. Like if I want you out of here, basically. And he threw his entire O-line under the bus like 4 games into the season last year. I think he's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. And you're right. I mean, a school will make him an offer, sure. If he turns out to like if he turns that into a respectable program again, sure.
Ooh, I'm looking at their schedule. Can we go through the schedule real quick? We don't have to talk about it
Please.
anymore. All right, first game. Okay, so
North Dakota State
North Dakota State.
By the way,
Okay,
that's a tough game.
that's a tough game.
at
Nick-
home or away. Dumb that I have to even ask. That doesn't
Gotta
bode
be
well
at
for the
home,
rest of
right?
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so I'm gonna give him a win.
At Nebraska.
Matt Rule.
It's not
Well, I
a
guess that's not much better.
okay. Colorado State.
Ooh, that was the fighting game. That's the one that all those quotes came from.
That's
'Cause
right.
Remember how chippy that game got because they talked so much shit.
Colorado State should have
Damn,
won that
and
game.
this is going to be back at Boulder this year.
Give them 2-1.
Baylor.
I'll give them that.
We'll give them Baylor.
Oh,
UCF, tough game.
give them UCF. UCF's winning.
Kansas State,
3-3.
Kansas State's winning.
Arizona,
3-4.
Arizona.
Cincinnati. We'll give them that.
4-4.
Ooh, yeah.
I believe at Tech,
4-5.
Utah,
4-6.
Yeah.
Kansas,
4-7.
Okie State.
4-8.
Or Nate.
That's a
So, yeah.
man. That's a tough.
It
That's
is.
a tough last month of the schedule. Damn.
They can't win 4
The-
games again this season.
That's a
It'll
tough
get
schedule.
really ugly.
The shitty part is, like, we're going to hear all that noise. Like, we just got them to 3-1. Not confidently, but if they got to 3-1, that's going to be a loud 4 weeks. A loud 4
And then their
weeks.
schedule
The wheels
really
are going to
starts.
fall the hell off. They'll go 1-7 or 1-6. I mean, but like, that's how we got here last year. They won like one game and it was noisy for about 20 days. And then it was just abysmal. And I think that's what we're going to get again.
If Shadur's the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Shadur's good enough to win them some of, you know what I mean? Like he's good
Yeah.
enough to win them
He
some
is
games.
good.
So if their O line is better,
And Travis Hunter for sure too.
yeah, they've got dudes who can upset some of these teams that are, you know, currently expected to finish higher in Big 12. But I don't know. That's crazy. And it's crazy. We all went crazy when they beat TCU because TCU coming off the Natty.
Mm-hmm.
The Natty game, I should say.
They're playing back-to-back national champions, technically.
And
Or I guess they're not not champions. Obviously, TCU didn't win, but North
championship
Dakota
teams.
State.
Yeah, finals team. Yeah, and then TCU ended up not being good. But anyway, so that's interesting. Just something to watch.
Damn it.
What?
We're going to be watching Colorado again. Like, I was kind of hoping to be like, we'll forget about it. We'll move on. And thinking, like, this is just noise. Why do we care? They don't matter. But I think I just talked myself into, I'm kind of curious again.
I'm going to hate watch them
hate
this
that.
season. I hate
Yeah,
watch.
feel
I
like
hate
I'm back
watch
in
them
that
last
position.
year.
Hey, you know what I hate watching? People wear stuff at the gym that's not rollback. I hate watching that.
I hate watching that shit too. dude.
KJ's got his rollback on. I got my rollback shorts on right now that I did wear to the gym over
I
lunch.
got my Robeck shorts on as well, actually.
Right now, you can
I'm
look as
robed.
cool as we do. Oh, you got the polo on too.
Mm.
Look at the drip. Washed 20. Washed 20. That's a code you can use. Load up the cart. It's a one-time used code. Get you a hat, polo, quarter zip. Man, tell them what they sent to our office. Well, I tease what they sent to our office.
They sent us, so they have a licensing deal with Texas now. Big situation. They have a big announcement today. Actually, it might happen during this episode. But yeah, they have burnt orange swag. They sent us. Got the Longhorn. They sent a black hoodie with just an embroidered Longhorn right on the chest. It looks dope. Can't wait to wear that. So yeah, a lot of Longhorn stuff coming through the pipeline, and as well as other major universities as well. So
Mhm.
again, washed 20. Get you 20% off at checkout.
All right. Let's put a bow on the Olympics.
Okay.
I think the best place to start would be men's basketball. We sat here on Thursday during the live stream, your live stream, the track house. I was following the Serbia-US game on my phone. I was like, we were down like 13 at one point. I was like, well, this is not looking good. Stream ended. We put it on. We come back. We win that game. Steph went off. KD hit some big shots. Book was great. Okay. Then we got France. Did you guys watch on Saturday?
I did.
Okay. Where does that rank on your like all-time professional basketball moments? Because for me, I was really trying to think about it, and like I was rooting for the team. This wasn't like comparing it to like Dirk moments or Luka moments. I am rooting for this team, and I'm rooting for this guy who doesn't play for my team, but I'm watching USA.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
I think my favorite part about basketball in the Olympics is you have all these megastars in the United States, right? They're all extremely famous, and we're fans of one or two of them here and there because it might be on our team, or we just liked him for whatever reason. But to see all these guys as teammates and like working together and getting excited together is just so unique and rare that I just find it really, really enjoyable. Like to see LeBron, KD, Steph Curry all in the same team is just a lot of fun to watch, man.
It was.
I don't know. Like they celebrate together. They celebrate together. We saw, of course, LeBron take down Golden State in the finals that year, and it was like, all right, these guys are like fierce competitors, and they want to kill each other on the court. But to watch those guys as teammates now, when they arrived in Paris together, like you saw that clip of LeBron and Steph in the locker room being like, man, it's about time. About time we get to be teammates. And it's just, I don't know. I just really enjoy that aspect of it, seeing these guys play as like a unit.
If you watched every game, which I did not, but I did watch a lot of it, I feel like early on in the medal rounds, or before the medal rounds, you had like the young guys dominating Ant.
A lot of Ant content.
A lot of Ant. But yeah, and then when it came down to like getting it done and like the tough games, Serbia, France, you had the three old dudes, Steph, LeBron, and KD. And that was sick, dude. I mean, that was so sick. And watching that in my kitchen on my phone because Blazing the Monster Machines was on the big TV because I'm a good dad.
I know Blaze.
I'm a total pushover and just let him watch it. And I'm watching this, like the coolest basketball moment I've seen on my fucking phone. That was awesome. I didn't tear up, but I was still like, I called Alyssa over, who doesn't care. I was like, look at this fucking shot. I'm like, who shoots this shot?
Yeah.
No one's shooting that.
Similar position on Sunday. No, I think I had it on his primary TV or whatever Saturday when I was on. I think that's all that was on the television, but I must have been distracted in some way or form. So when the score started winding down, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, there was a point in which the group text, I think you simply said Curry. So it was probably like the first of his final like barrage of threes, maybe the third or fourth last. I turn it on or, turn it up and get caught up. And I'm like, holy shit. And all I can keep hearing is just the awe of like, look how tall Wemby is. And this is dramatic and it's incredible to see, but like France kept hanging around. And so I was like struck by that. And then also by like Jokic's presence for Serbia. Like we talk about how loaded this lineup is and how incredible it is to see all these superstars playing together. And then you add like 2 megastars to any random team out there surrounded by solid casts. And it's like, oh shit, it's kind of competitive. And that takes nothing away from the USA team. Like that just speaks to like how good those players are, how competitive like this game ends up being when you have like competent coaching and like some like decent teams put together. But what Steph did in the last like 90 seconds, I'd put it up there with like whatever emotions I felt from like the Clippers bubble game against the Mavericks when Luka hit that three. And it's like, this is the best sports or best basketball feeling I've ever felt outside of like clinching a finals, championship, trophy.
Yeah, I think like it's wild to like have the utmost confidence that like a guy who's gonna just pull it from three. Like when France got it to within a few points, and you're like, all right, well, you got to get the ball to Curry. Like, and you just know that's such a fun feeling. So I mean, I'm very, very jealous of all Warriors fans who got to go through that dynasty. To have like him and Clay, like dudes who can hit that shot at any moment is so cool. Then you see Melo in the crowd, who was like a de facto mascot for the team. That was just dope, man.
Melo next to Scottie Pippen, and next to him was Sue Bird. No,
Jimmy
not Sue
Fallon.
Bird. Was fucking Fallon was there?
Jimmy
No,
Fallon was there, somewhere.
Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe were next to like Scotty, right next to them, and I'm just like, that must have been a fucking day for Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe because they turned around and went to the women's soccer final like an hour later, and that game was absolutely dope because Brazil doesn't fucking play. Can I talk about the coaching staff real quick? that was the other thing that kept blowing my mind. It's like every now and then he'd be like, I know Kerr's the head coach here. And it used to be like Kerr and Pop. But then you'd see like Ty Lue on the bench. And I'm like, wait, who else is over there? Oh, it's just fucking Mark Few. Like, you know, one of the best college coaches, you know, period, in the country and the planet, whatever. And Eric Spoelstra, without question, top 3 NBA coach, hands down.
Yeah.
And you've got like all of these voices, like managing all of these egos, strategy, everything. And you're like, that's a pretty fucking good situation to be in. Like, that's awesome that they're able to accomplish that.
Yeah. And watching LeBron, like someone who I've been the entire LeBron experience, I've been up and down on. Just, I mean, I've been on both sides of it. But watching him just with his gray beard, just kind of turn into a point guard and start like look like Magic Johnson was just fucking dope. I'm like, what if this is how they played him his entire career? Like, how is it different? Look, loved it. This is the most fun I've ever had watching the Olympics in general, I think. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have a job where we can watch it while we work. And I wasn't having to
timing worked out.
Timing worked out really well. But maybe my second favorite part was just, you know, KD, in addition to being a major factor in them winning the gold, him also just going right to Twitter within hours of him being of them beating Serbia, just going at Nuggets fans. Anybody who dared be like, "Hey, that's really great for Jokic. That's really incredible for Serbia. You know, it's Jokic and a bunch of random dudes, blah blah blah," and him just being like, "Y'all need to fucking chill." Like, I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of time that guy has.
Where did he play in college?
KD? I think we all know. Dude, KD is an excellent Twitter personality. I like that he's one of these guys who actually mixes it up with the fans, and he's reply guy. Like, he replies to people. It's so great.
He did you see his post? What was it? IQ and entertainment whatever his caption was. It was clearly a reference to Dennis Schroeder of Germany. A comment he made to where he said the German team or European basketball in general is less entertainment, more like high IQ basketball. So KD kind of took that, wrote it down, put it in his pocket, and was like, "Oh, all right, we're going to run that back." And he did. Which I don't think, if you watch the clip of Schroeder, it's not, he clearly like, I don't think he meant it as maliciously as KD took it, but that's KD.
You won't see me saying a single positive thing about Dennis Schroeder, given that he absolutely fucking dogged Maxi Kleba over last year for Eurobasket. So
that's fair.
Got nothing good to say. We can glaze on Wemby later. We'll have plenty of time, but I don't even know what to say, man.
We've probably got
is a respectable starter in the NBA. Nicholas Batum's been a respectable starter in the NBA for years. And maybe Max contract guy with Charlotte at one point. Rudy Gobert is like a 4-time defending NBA Defensive Player of the Year. And Wemby's the leader for France in points per game, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah. And he's got like 5 more Olympics ahead of him, which is insane.
And he plays for my San Antonio Spurs as well.
I was telling David right before this, I'm like, to think that you guys live within a you don't have to give it 2 thoughts. Like, if you wanted to go drive down, somebody has courtside tickets at either stadium or either arena to go see Luka play, a few hours up the road, or Wemby play a few hours down the road. Like, that's a pretty tremendous situation.
Yeah, if courtside tickets fall in our lap, KJ, that
doesn't have to be courtside.
I'm sure there's like some asshole in like LA who's like, yeah, whatever. I've lived next to Staples Center for 2 decades. You've had some similar experience. Like, no, whatever. I get it. But that's pretty fucking awesome.
I bet you wouldn't want to live next to the Staples Center.
No.
I bet that's not a fun place to live.
No.
Oh, man.
That is where the pawn shop in Oriole Virgin is.
But, all day, just people going in and out with office supplies and shit. To breakdancing.
Anything? Yeah, I was about to say anything else in the Olympics.
What were your thoughts? I know you've been a big follower of the b-boy culture for a while. When you saw Ray Gunn go out there against logistics, what did you think? Because I know you've been following logistics for a long time, a little too long, if you ask me.
So I don't know if you're aware. The other person that lives in this house that's above the age of 18, she did like ballet growing up and then dance or whatever. Like that was her whole world. So as much as we watch sports, I would almost say, if given the opportunity, she would run back every single season of So You Think You Can Dance and whatever other dance TV competition shows that you could ask for. I forgot breaking was like involved or when it was happening or if I'd missed it. She fully had it like set to record and was ready to watch at like 2:00 on Thursday whenever the women or the the G girls did their part. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the G girls.
I honestly don't know.
Where would they hang out? What?
I know it's B-boys is how they labeled it on Saturday.
What, Randy?
I know the joke you're trying to go for there, Dave.
Just asking questions.
Would they hang at the G spot? Is that what you're saying?
The fuck?
Grow up, Randy.
Did you go to Japan?
Please go to Japan.
Take the early flight. Jesus.
Is that across the street from Dick's Saloon? Anyways, so she was ready for it. And by proxy, I was like, you know what? I'll check this out. I left the room within like 6 minutes because I didn't want to be like shamed by my comments or feel like somehow I was going to be labeled a misogynist in my own home. But I immediately walked away and was like, Twitter, feed me something on this. And Twitter was unrelenting on how bad it was.
It was so bad that it was perfect too. Like Ray Gunn is an absolute treasure.
There's a think piece out there on her. Have you seen it? I say think piece. There's like a tweet that's like 500 words explaining why. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like they're saying how she's. I shouldn't have even brought it up, but like there's people like really going into Ray Gunn and being like, "This is bigger deal than you think. This is she just set back Australian blah 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 culture for."
But how did she make it to that stage? No offense to her, she's not going to hear this. How did she get that far?
Contest?
It does seem very want a radio contesty.
Yes.
Dude, it honestly, it's like if you lost your fantasy draft. It's like, dude, your punishment, you gotta go to the Olympics.
You gotta go to this competition, which happens to be the Olympics.
Yeah.
The fact I talked about this in circling back, the fact that they get like real Olympic medals that count the same way the other ones do is it's a travesty.
I don't mind that as much.
Oh, I do.
Well, women can vote now, so like, of course, they're going to get the same medal.
The men too. All right.
I don't think the breakdancing is bad. Like this is the problem. We're talking about the worst breakdancer potentially ever. One of the worst to ever do it. And meanwhile, there are actually bad at, like we were watching the men's one today. I was showing you that clip. There's some insane stuff, like stuff that you're like, dude, how does a person, much like watching a female gymnast, you're like, how do they even like learn that shit?
KJ, did you happen to catch?
Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you happen to catch the young lady from Lithuania, Dominika Bonovic?
Okay.
D-Bon? Did she go by D-Bon?
No.
That's the other.
No,
I don't want to derail.
She went. By the way, she wears a wave cap. She goes by, her nickname is Nicka.
Oh, that's why you're not giving me the nickname. I had this written down.
We were watching it. Okay.
Spell it.
We were watching it and like, we didn't even see the name. We were just like, wait, who's this little Eastern European girl with the wave cap? And then like, wait a minute. What's her name? We're like, oh.
Yeah,
no.
they allow like nicknames or dance monikers, whatever you want to call it, in lieu of their actual names because it's breakdancing, I guess.
Protect their anonymity.
Yeah, and yeah, she goes by that, and it was we had a good time with it.
Surely there's a story there that's much better than we're all thinking.
The story is now the nation has a new word to replace the N-word. If you'd like to just rap along with the lyrics, you just no. The Lithuanian breakdancer, dude, like chill out.
To be fair, I was calling her naysayer.
He was.
I just wanted it to be clear. On my scorecard, that's how I had her.
She's not playing defensive line for Eastern Michigan University this fall. I can't think of that guy's name, but I believe it's with KN, correct? Jonathan.
Yes, I forgot.
So why is breakdancing just a one and done thing? Why is it not going to be part of the LA Olympics?
I don't know. I think they were like, oh, wait a minute. What have we done?
Like, we want this one back. We're sorry.
LA got the early preview of the pilot episode, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not picking up season 2."
Holy shit! She won. That girl, the aforementioned Lithuanian young lady, won silver.
Yeah, she was nice with it.
I mean, okay.
So, I'm remembering now when we did our show prep meeting Friday. So this started Friday at like 11, because we both looked up and we're like, "Oh shit, there's logistics and Stussy."
Oh.
Who had like started the whole thing off, because I went upstairs right after that just to make sure it was on. Everything about the vibe, like the dancing aside, the vibe just felt off. They needed to have it where they did fencing. I need a more dramatic environment. I know that there's security issues and it was kind of outdoors, but like the look did not work. Mine, like the big boombox, everything was not good.
Look, I went through a phase in like 6th, 7th grade. My friends and I, there is a breakdance culture at our middle school, our intermediate school. We weren't a part of it, but we thought it was cool shit. We would watch, shout out to Rodolfo, shout out to Chris Martinez. These dudes were badass. They would do stuff, not to the level of some of the Olympics guys, but they could do cool stuff, run and do flips, windmill, all that. So I got a little bit, we kind of from a distance got into watching breakdance culture. Put that on the run back. It's funny. They tried to replicate it as best they could. The problem is it's just the showmanship part where it's like, boom, it's like, it's the battle. It's like, oh yeah, I did this. And then I'm going to give you a sassy look. Hit you with that. It's just weird in an Olympic.
You had no crowd mic.
No, it totally is. Okay.
It's not real.
When Ray Gunn was out there going against logistics,
what a sentence.
Logistics started. So Ray Gunn was sitting there like watching her do her thing. And she did like a fake yawn. Like, oh, this is so boring. And then she like was like taking fake notes on her hand. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like it was just so stupid.
I thought she was using a BlackBerry.
It felt so corny.
The balls to do that. Would you know what this girl's doing is so much better than what you're gonna do?
Also,
It's unreal.
I've seen street performers in the French Quarter in New Orleans who are much better than anything I saw at the Olympics. They're like incredible breakdancers out there that they have to be watched to be like, what the fuck is going on?
There's 5 shows in Las Vegas now that have nothing to do with breakdancing that have better breakdancers in them.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like these are not the best breakdancers out there. I know that.
Didn't you show me a clip of like an 8-year-old?
Yeah,
there's the dopest shit I've ever seen.
There's a clip going viral on Twitter that said Olympic gold medalist versus 8-year-old. And it showed a clip of the woman who won the gold and she did her little thing, which was fine. And then an 8-year-old who was like absolutely incredible. He was just going off doing stuff that you didn't even see at the Olympics. It's like, what are we doing here?
8-year-olds have low center of gravity, though. It's not fair.
That dude was sick, though.
A kid, what the hell? Yeah, where's he? Or she? I don't even know if it's
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad that you mentioned the men's or the B-boys, because I'll reiterate, there was sheer talent shown there. Entertainment, very low, but level of difficulty of some of the shit I saw, like dudes doing like half backflips, landing on one hand, and then like kind of doing a one-arm push-up upside down. That shit was bizarre and showed a lot of skill. This is like the home of freaking Cirque du Soleil. You couldn't have gotten somebody out there whose real talent was some like contortion shit to then learn like 2 steps of breakdancing to go like dominate the women's competition for France. I feel like that's kind of what they did for the men's. They're like, hey, we're gonna throw the only black competitor out here and he's from France. Like, medal him up. It's kind of how it all shook out. You know,
Look, we're focusing on the bad, the one really bad. But look, generally speaking, the whole thing was just never going to work. It was just too awkward. It's too awkward. The crowd right there, I can't.
judges wearing Kangol caps
Okay, yeah, the Kangol.
The MCs.
and like
I have a photo on my phone of me
sleeves.
wearing a Kangol right now.
They had like MCs hyping up the crowd. It just doesn't really.
I get they're trying. I know what they're trying to do.
It's the Olympics, so we won't get it. But I really, really need the whole like 60 days out documentary of the breaking competition, because I really want to see all the people in the room who are losing their minds and are quitting. Of like, hey, this is not going well. Like this, like we've got you need somebody on stage. Like they got there because somebody saw something. Like no, you need a second hype man. No, you need the judges behind them in 2 rows, like they're on like a celebrity matchmaker game. Like there were a lot of decisions made. I'll just smile because it happened. How about that?
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
I kind of wish they would bring it back.
Justice for logistics. She was good. Logistics.
There was some more racing or some more running drama. I know we got to know Lyle's story, but
That's just him talking shit. We don't even. We can talk about the actual race.
4x1. Well, he was in the 200, got second.
I think he got bronze.
Got bronze. Popped positive with COVID.
And sat out the 4x100.
Correct.
Are we surprised? Like, I know this conversation's been had and I don't really want to rehash it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Are we surprised that he was allowed to race with COVID? I don't care, but I'm surprised like IOC, like I feel like they are like very, very strict, overly strict about a lot of things.
Did it get out before the race?
I don't know if it was out, but he tested and they knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing a mask in the back in the room, and it's like, why is he wearing a mask? Like, man, whatever, okay. And he already struggles with asthma. I was just surprised. I don't care. If I was another athlete in there or around him, I would probably care, especially if I had another race. And it doesn't matter if it's COVID or if it's a flu or just this guy's got a cold. I don't know if I want to be around that fucking guy. I was
going back to a country that, like, I don't know shit about Botswana. I'm not even going to say Botswana. He was competing against somebody from Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use a different country, like Canada. I don't know. If you were going back to a different country that had different medical standards, where like coming back with a positive case still kind of meant something like that. That's the weird part to me, the international element of it.
That's what I meant, because I just felt like I don't know how international governing body. I don't know. Do you have to be all jabbed up to go compete? I don't know. Randy, you probably know. You're traveling abroad.
No clue. There's no COVID restrictions in Japan right now, so
There's a typhoon there right now, unfortunately.
that is true. They'll clear up by the time I get there.
Hopefully so. That would be really bad if it's just chilling there for the next. Okay. Well, and Noah Lyles, he's I don't know if you saw this. He's very, very outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
He was mad that Adidas had Anthony Edwards out for a new shoe launch, and they're like, "Wait, you're giving him a new shoe? He's never been to the finals. Why is he getting a signature shoe?" And it was just like, dude.
And they invited him to the premiere of the shoe, and he's like, "I'm not going to that."
Yeah, what, dude? What don't you understand about like the NBA being a very big deal?
Yeah,
and like Ant being like
a star,
a star, potential face of the league, maybe down the road. I don't know. But still, like that's a common thing. A lot of guys who haven't been to the finals get their own shoe. I don't know. I love Noah Lyles on one hand, and the other hand, it's just like, okay, this guy's just talking shit to talk shit.
There was more context.
Please give it to me.
Which I agree with you though. That it was an unnecessary statement by him. Because he like expanded to go on and say like, I think Ant's incredible. He's an incredible athlete to see what he's done. is tremendous. The reason he commented on this, I guess, is he's been haggling or arguing or negotiating with Adidas for a signature shoe for him, for Noah Lyles, which should be a no-brainer. But in track, it's not that common of a thing. Honestly, I don't know if I can name one since like Michael Johnson's like gold Nikes.
That's the only shoe I can think of.
Where they do that. And not that I'm fucking out there shopping for track shoes to know like the last 20 years. Like maybe Usain Bolt's got a whole shoe line.
I'm sure he has like some Puma shoes.
I'm sure he has something with Puma, but you know, I don't know if he has like a signature shoe type thing. But Noah Lyles has been negotiating with Adidas, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So I think what he was pissed off about is like, I'm asking for a shoe deal. I'm Noah Lyles. You're giving this man a shoe deal, unnecessary stray, and then inviting me to the party. Like, well, you know, I'm not happy about it. It's like, in that context, I get it, but you still could just say no quietly and move on.
Can I just say, and you said you don't know the market for people wear like a track star, track personality with the signature shoe. I would wear, in addition to other items of clothing, Sydney McLaughlin and Gabby Thomas signature shoes.
I'm going to co-sign that. Yeah. Was that the best looking 4x100 group of women we've ever seen?
I mean, I don't know.
Stunning.
I didn't know.
Did y'all see the intro for that race?
I missed it.
I did.
Maybe it was the 4x4. I'm thinking the 4x4. Yeah. So I didn't see them do this for the other relays, but they did a full like come out, strike a pose, and then go get in your lane situation for the 4x4. Because unlike 4x1, where your team is dispersed, you know, to their positions around the track, 4x4, you've got everybody who's not in that opening lap in one group. So you all come out together, you're all huddled up, you're standing by all of your competitors watching the race, talking shit. So there was like a moment of like, come out, strike a pose. I think the British women's team did the pose from the shooter who didn't use any extra gear. A bunch of athletes have been like doing that as their celebratory pose.
The Turkish guy?
Turkish shooter guy pose. But then I think Jamaica came out right before them. I'm like, all right, here we go. Spicy. America came out. I'm like, all right. I'm intrigued. Well,
Yeah.
Very nice. They're very, very nice. They fucking dominated.
KJ liked it. And you know what? I'm gonna go back and look at it because I need to know this. It's my job as a host.
Gabby Thomas lives in Austin.
Would you know her if you saw her on the street?
I wouldn't now.
I would too.
I was going to say for like the next 60 days, yes. After that, like you're going to know like a third string wide receiver from Carolina's face better. And that's going to replace her.
Oh, come on.
Not because she's not worth it. Just saying. Time will pass.
Shout out to Sha'Carri.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? That was an iconic photo. Her looking over on the anchor leg of that relay was tight. That was tight. So,
did you see that live, or not that live, but the men's race right after that live? Did you see?
probably, but I don't remember what it was.
Only reason I bring it up is they pulled. So the men's 4x1, it's well known now. There was a baton exchange issue with Kenny Bednarik. Shout out to Rice Lake, Wisconsin, who was the second runner in the 4x1. Kenny Bednarik got second in the 100. So by all accounts, very fast, but he took off way too early and was running way too fast. Fucked up the exchange with the first runner. Right before that, they showed the last 4 or 5 Olympics where the U.S. men's 4x1 team has had an exchange issue. Back to back to back to back. Like they showed every single one on a montage. Almost like showing you all of the wide left, wide rights in the Florida State-Miami game and then being like, and here's today's kick. What's going to happen? I'm like, why do you fucking bring all those bad vibes? Just be like they haven't won since 96. It just was weird. And then they had that problem. And you're like, it happened again. This is fucking terrible.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand what the problem is, and I don't know how you like coach that. That's my track and field take.
You name me one track coach. I can name you like a boxing trainer for freaking crying out loud. Name
Freddie
me
Roach.
one track coach. Exactly. Like name me a track coach, and then we could start there.
Oh, wait, big shout out to Quincy Wilson, the 16-year-old who won gold in the 4x400, who is about to go back to high school. Kind of wild.
How dope is that?
That's so cool.
You
Fucking
imagine
Spider-Man type shit.
competing against that?
In high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
Anything else on the Olympics before we close it out with golf?
I'll quickly hit the closing ceremony.
Please do.
They scheduled it on TV for like 2 to 7 or some shit. And what I didn't realize, I sent y'all a picture because we were talking about the Cowboys Rams game. They played the opening ceremonies again, which I didn't watch the whole gist of. And I caught a part of it and seen, I'm like, fuck, this is real freaky for a closing ceremony. Apparently, the whole closing ceremony was just like a mega concert, both here in the United States and then stitched together, or I'm sorry, there in France and stitched together with a conference in California by none other than Tom Cruise skydiving not skydiving, but like bungee jumping essentially into the stadium, taking the Olympic flag, hopping on a motorcycle, taking it to a plane, of course, movie magic, blah, blah, blah. And then it comes to the States, which was like the answer to my question of like, why do they keep showing reaction shots of Tom Cruise before they were showing like family members after some events? It was driving me nuts. Oh, like gymnastics, track, soccer, you kept getting them all week and it was too much and it was all for this bullshit.
I will say it was pretty dope. The whole
It was
the whole production was pretty. I was like, oh yeah, I would love to shit on this, but I really can't. We got motorcycles, we got rappelling, we've got a plane, we got Snoop, Michael
You got the golf
Johnson.
anxiety, the golf crowd, part the crowd, like we're hoping people respect the boundaries of one person standing with their arms spread out. Like
Yeah.
somebody could have fucked up that whole production by just being a dickhead, and nobody did. Granted, they were
Oh.
all athletes, but like I watched that and that was like my most anxiety of like, I hope nobody stands in front of the fucking motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have gone bad. I mean, because as he's walking through the crowd, like he couldn't get through without every athlete wanting to do a selfie, kiss him on the mouth. You can't do that.
Oh yes, that
Come
happened.
on.
That was like a coach from some country, like
Really?
full blown caught him off guard. Not a coach, but it wasn't she wasn't an athlete.
What does that mean exactly? What do you
It
specifically?
was like the team's chef or some shit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you see I remember McConaughey walking through DKR a couple of years ago, maybe longer than that. And he's walking by like these like sorority girls or college girls, and like one of them like leaned over and like kissed him on. I was like, oh shit.
I remember
I
that.
was like, he must get that all the time. I bet his wife loves that.
God,
Anyway.
that's full blown like sexual assault if you're the Spanish World Cup women's team.
Yeah.
Your coach like
Oh, yeah.
involuntarily kissed some lady on the mouth like
Yeah.
in celebration on stage, and they pursued that shit for like 2 years.
Yeah. It's all cool when they
anyhow,
do
so
it
yeah,
to
those
McConaughey,
Olympics.
but KJ does it one time. It'll matter if Wisconsin game. No cheerleader. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Fun stuff. All right, real quick. I don't know how much Wyndham Championship you guys took in. I know you guys, Randy was probably dialed in.
Yep.
Wyndham Clark.
Not Wyndham Clark, actually. But the Wyndham Championship. Why is that significant? Well, I got wind of a potential unreal collapse, which did happen twice, actually. Sadly. So I tuned in, and you see, what's the guy's name? Max Gracerman? Whatever. Blows a 4-shot lead with a quad on like the 14th hole. Like, okay. From there, he birdies. Gets the lead back. Up by 1. Next hole, doubles. Lips out a 2-foot putt. Okay. This guy's blown the tournament twice. This is not good. Okay. He's playing in the final group with Matt Kuchar. Darkness is starting to set in, but everyone's still like playing. What was that?
KJ, come on, man.
God damn it. Can I just enjoy? So
Chappelle.
I know. I saw you. Okay. 18th tee, Kuch tees off. The other group ahead of them, who has the leader in it, they're in the fairway. No one told Kuch, like, hey, don't tee off. You're going to hit into them. Luckily, he hooked it left. Okay. He goes to his ball. The other dude at this point, the guy who's blowing the tournament needs a birdie. Gracerman, yeah. He needs a birdie. Come to find out, it won't matter because Aaron Ray, the guy who ends up winning the tournament, birdies, has a 2-shot lead, so it doesn't matter. Kuch puts his tee down. He's like, I'm going to finish tomorrow. It's too dark. I can't play. Kuch is tied for 12th. He's not anywhere in the mix. There's no scenario.
He's the only player left on the course.
Him and the other dude who is going to finish out. So he comes back and plays today. He finished this morning. Half a hole.
He pars it.
Takes a drop, line of sight drop, pars the hole, and he's done.
And then in the post-round interview, to his credit, he did apologize for everyone who had to come out again today. Some people running the tournament and like a handful of media members were out there. He apologized to him. He said, I feel like best case last night was like bogeyed the hole. And he parred his last hole this morning. It's a sorry move. It's a sorry move.
I mean, it's just funny. It's just like you don't ever see it, and it's because it's Kuch. It's like, okay, like he's already kind of got the baggage from the tournament in Mexico where he tipped his caddy like $5K after winning like, I don't know, 1.2 something crazy. And it's just so Kuch, and the fact that like, dude, best case scenario bogey. You've won $60 million on tour, dude. Like you are a really good player for a long time. Like you almost won a U.S. Open. Like just finish the hole.
Finish the hole.
It's not that dark. Like
you know what? You might par it.
You might par it. Your ball. You're getting a drop either way. You're going to have a shot at the green. It's not like you're having to punch out. It was insane. It ultimately, I don't know. I know he jumped up some points, some spots in the FedEx Cup.
That was my question.
I think
Did it like materially impact his like ability to play in the most important part of the season, which is like the FedEx Cup?
No, to my knowledge, he has no chance of making the playoffs.
He's like 108, right?
Yeah,
You have
I
to be
think
top 100.
if you want to make an argument that this goes to a long way or helps him get some points to secure his tour card going forward, ensure that he has his tour card. Okay. Yeah. But it's just like, I don't know. It's more funny than anything, just thinking like all those people. But there's some volunteers out there that just live for this shit. And all these guys want to do is get the fuck out of the house again. And they're like, fuck yeah, Kuch. I got another excuse to get out of bed tomorrow and like go to the course. Now I have to stick around, get fucking yelled at, doing chores. I'm going to the course because this guy wants to play half a hole.
By the way, the only coverage of it that I've seen anyway is just some dude on his iPhone who just records his like last few shots. There are no TV cameras out there.
CBS went home.
Yeah, they're like,
So
we're
are
outta
we
here.
sure that he parred?
Yeah, seriously.
Who was it? Who was on the call? Nance.
It was
Said,
Nance.
I said, I don't think we'll be back for that coverage tomorrow.
So good. Dude, Nance is the GOAT. So good.
Like the people who can be pissed off. I don't think I cared until you mentioned his apology to everybody who had to come back. And I hadn't thought about that at all. If I'm him, at some point you kind of got to be worried. Like, not only did you cost those people time and you apologize, that I get it. That part, no big deal. But legitimately, you cost people money, access to the course, whatever it is. Like there are people who matter, companies, organizations that matter, who had to then pay for other people to be there. Like it's going to cost a lot more money than he won. And like earnings difference for them to extend by a day for him, even for those hours. And if I'm him, I hope that I didn't just piss somebody off. Like I didn't have a FedEx sponsorship, or not FedEx, but whatever, like a Wyndham sponsorship. And now I just cost them an extra $150,000.
Well, a lot of times what they'll do after these tournaments is the next day there will be like a corporate outing. that'll so I don't know. That probably got pushed back, which isn't that big of a deal. Ultimately, it doesn't affect us at all, but it is just funny. It's like, dude, just fucking play them. You have to hit one shot and a couple putts. At worst, a chip and a putt. Like, dude. Oh my God. I love it. Matt Kuchar, noted jobs creator. Good for him. And that's all we got, unless you guys want to talk anything else. No CD Lamb deal done.
No, CeeDee Lamb, we miss you.
You don't want to run it
I
back?
did catch Tom Brady on the Cowboys call. I didn't pull any audio. We'll have plenty of time to talk about what Tom Brady is like as an announcer. I'm here to say, when you first get your chance to hear it, sneakily close to Troy Aikman voice.
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right.
Okay.
Let's run it back. The segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Rainey has tentacles on his mind. KJ is whelmed for college football season. Colorado is going 4-8 this season. We are ready for Rainey to go to Japan. Dave doesn't think that breakdancing is bad. NICKA won silver in Paris. And finally, we are all big fans of the women on the US 4x100 team. And that concludes Run It Back.
Yes, it does. Okay. Any parting words?
No. We have college football next weekend, week 0. That's exciting.
Week 0 next week. We will be recording probably on like a Wednesday, TBD. But look for us at a different time due to travel. Best of luck, Randy.
Yep. Dave and I will not be here on Monday.
No, you might get a remote circling back. We'll see about it.
Okay.
But too much dip later in the week. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.